Hey guys, JamesMCD Reviews here, and welcome to another sleep-deprived episode of JamesMCD's Friday Nightmare. A Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors, was released in 1987 and was directed by Chuck Russell, and not only features the return of Freddy Krueger, but also features the return of Heather Langenkamp as Nancy. She's now working in a mental hospital and has been looking after a group of kids who have been put at high risk because of a series of really bad nightmares. But when they start to put together the pieces and realize that Freddy Krueger is behind this, they have to band together to stop him once and for all. I actually really liked this one. I don't think it was as good as the first one, but it was definitely a huge step up from the second one. This one bridges the gap between the creepy, serious Freddy of the first two and the jokey, quipster, Freddy that is supposedly in the later ones. And at first I wasn't sure how I was gonna feel about that, but in the actual movie, it wasn't too bad. I thought they handled it pretty well. The one-liners that he had, A, were funny, and B, were used very, very sparingly. They do a good job of balancing it out with plenty of scenes of him looking fucking creepy. Once again, the nightmare sequences, just absolutely perfect. I mean, I feel like they've been trying to up the ante with each movie, and here is no exception. The standout has to be the marionette scene. I mean, first of all, the use of stop motion is hilarious, but then just seeing the puppet strings coming out of the guy's wrists, and seeing him, the way that the guy walks down the hallway and no one even bats an eye, is very, very creepy and gross looking. But then when you see Freddy's face in the sky pulling the strings and everything, it goes right back to being funny again, and I really, really liked that. The different scenarios when the kids all go into the dream world to fight Freddy, the different scenarios that they have were really cool and creative looking. I like sort of how they build on sort of the dream world itself, and they have this character who can bring people into her dreams somehow and stuff like that. And on the one hand, it is kind of weird. They don't really explain how it works, but at the same time, I don't think you really need to, because it is fantasy and it is a dream. So I don't think that was a huge issue. But then that also leads into some really cool creative scenes where the kids start sort of using the powers of the dream world to fight back and give themselves superpowers and magic and things like that. The one thing that the Nightmare movies do that the Friday movies almost always fail at is getting me to care about the characters. These ones, admittedly, some get axed off pretty early, so you don't really get the chance to feel for them, but these ones, the kids in the mental hospital, you actually find yourself kind of rooting for them. Even the ones that are kind of being assholes to each other or to other people. I don't know, you still find them very likable, and you find their situations relatable and everything like that. And, you see everyone around them telling them that they're crazy and they're relapsing and that there's no such thing as Freddy Krueger and blah, 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 blah. And that makes you root for them even more, and I just really like a lot of these characters, and I thought the performances were really good. And of course, it's great to see Nancy back. Heather Langenkamp kills it. She is not just the same character as the first. She's definitely matured. She's a lot more of a problem solver this time around. They do kind of do that annoying thing where no one they know her history, and yet no one wants to put any trust in her because they think she's crazy too for some reason. But you wonder how she made it this far, with her credentials and with the knowledge that people have about her. And yet people are still going to try and call her crazy when she brings up solutions on how to stop Freddy. it's stupid, but I thought she was really good. She had great rapport off of the other actors. Her, like, the relationship she had with the other sort of psychiatric, like, professor who kind of looked like Bill Maher. It was weird, but their relationship was really good. They bring back her dad very briefly towards the end, but I kind of wish that was, like, a little more fleshed out. Like, I thought that was kind of interesting, but I don't think they gave enough time to it. Which is weird because, like, even though the movie isn't that long, I think it's only like an hour 30, like, it still feels like it goes on for a lot longer than the other ones. Like, maybe it was because we were watching it kind of late at night, but it did feel like it was dragging, especially towards the ending. Not to say that I wasn't enjoying it or anything, but, like, it definitely felt like it went on for a bit longer than I would have liked. Also, Nancy dies, and it's kind of, like, unsatisfying and honestly kind of undeserved. Like, I get Heather Langenkamp probably wanted to move on to other things and everything like that, but, like, I don't know, I feel like it would have been nice to have sort of just a central, like, you know, role model figure, like, at the center of this story. Like, even if she doesn't show up for the rest of the series, like, just to have, like, a central figure that they can turn to of, like, oh, this person can help us out if we need it, or even just, like, later on in the series to, like, bring back in some capacity. Like, it would have been nice, and it sucks that they had to kill her off, but whatever. Me bitching about a movie from, like, 40 years ago. That's kind of about it. I don't really have too much else to complain about. There were things I liked mixed with things I didn't. It was a lot better than the second, but not as good as the first. Take it for what it's worth, and I'd have to give it a 3.5 out of 5. But anyway, that does it for another episode of The Friday Nightmare. Let me know down in the comments what you thought of Nightmare on Elm Street 3. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Where does it rank amongst the other Nightmare movies? And tune in tomorrow where we'll be taking a look at Friday the 13th Part 7, The New Blood. Until then, be sure to like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you can stay up to date on when I'm posting. Follow me on all my social media. Subscribe to my main channel. Everything you need to know will be in the description. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you later.